Hello, second grade, and welcome to our second week of science. We're going to start off with flowers. Flowers are usually the most colorful part of the plant. Some flowers smell very sweet. Can you think of a flower that has a sweet smell? Some plants are not colorful and do not have any smell, but they still have flowers. The flower's job is to make seeds. All flowers have pollen. Pollen is needed to help the flower make seeds. Most pollen needs to travel from one plant to another. How can pollen travel? Some pollen can be carried by the wind, but most pollen travels with the help of insects. How does the honeybee help the plant world? Bees gather sweet nectar from the flower. They use the nectar to make honey. When a bee lands on a flower, pollen from the flower sticks to the hair on the bee's hind legs. A little pollen falls off its legs onto the next flower it visits. This pollen helps the flower make seeds. Right here you can see on the bee's leg, you can see the collection of pollen. Bees live and work in a hive. The worker bee protects the hive. If an enemy bothers the hive, the worker will sting the enemy even if the enemy is you. When she stings, she pushes her stinger into her enemy, but when she tries to pull her stinger out, she tears the stinger in that part of her body. She then dies. Without bees, we would not have many of the kinds of foods we eat. The bee is tiny, but God gave it a big job to do. Stems. The stem is the part of the plant that holds the leaves and the flowers. Stems also bring water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves and the flowers. There are many different kinds of stems. Vines are stems that climb. These stems need something to hold on to. So here's a picture where it just shows the different stems on each flower. Did you know that a tree trunk, its branches, and its twigs are all parts of the stem of a tree? A tree trunk is the largest stem in the plant world. Leaves. Leaves make food for the plants. Without leaves, plants would starve to death. Leaves are all shapes and sizes. The banana leaf can be as tall as a man. So this is a banana leaf, a maple leaf. This is a blade of grass. Cherry leaves are right here. Oak leaf, and then we've got pine needles. Let's find out how God designed leaves to work. Each leaf has veins. The veins carry water and nutrients to each part of the leaf. When God designed leaves, He put different colors into each one. The color that we can usually see is green. We call the green material in plants chlorophyll. Chlorophyll colors the leaves green, but it also has a very special job. The main job of chlorophyll is to help the plant make food. How do leaves make food in green plants? God has given the leaf all the ingredients it needs to make the plant's food. The recipe is chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. Do you remember what carbon dioxide is? Carbon dioxide, remember, comes from us as we breathe out. Do you remember what gas plants give off for people and animals to breathe? Remember, that's oxygen. So if we look here at this diagram, we've got sunlight, water. So water gets absorbed into the roots, goes up through the stems to the leaves. The leaves then, remember, they're going to use chlorophyll, which is inside the leaf. They're going to use sunlight, and they're also going to use the carbon dioxide to be able to make the food for the plant. If the plant has all four ingredients, the leaves can make food. What is the food the leaves make for the plant? Well, it's sugar. Why do green leaves change color in the fall? Have you ever wondered why leaves change color in the fall? Winter is the time of year that the trees rest. As the days become shorter, there is less sunlight. Do you remember the ingredients for the plant's food? Remember, it is chlorophyll, it is carbon dioxide, sunlight, and also water, the four ingredients for it to make food. With less sunlight, the veins of the leaf become blocked. No water can come up the veins. Without water and sunlight, the leaf cannot make food. Without food, the chlorophyll breaks down. When chlorophyll begins to disappear, other colors begin to show. This is because the chlorophyll is no longer strong. Some leaves have yellow in them, some have red, some may have purple, and some have orange. Some of these colors were in the leaves all the time, but the chlorophyll hid them. Now that the chlorophyll is gone, we can see these bright colors and enjoy their beauty. What happens to the leaf now? Because the leaf is no longer green, we say the leaf is dead. Soon it will let go of the tree and will flutter to the ground. Rain begins to fall. It helps the leaf to decay or break down. More rain washes the tiny pieces of leaf back into the soil. This adds nutrients to the soil. These nutrients help the tree and other plants to grow. Does the tree die because the leaves change color and fall? No. In the winter time, we say the tree is dormant. This means that the tree is resting. It will produce new life in the springtime. So summer, fully bloomed. Fall starts to lose the chlorophyll, so we see the other color showing through. Then it drops the leaves. That's when we see winter trees completely barren, and spring trees when it grows the new buds, which are going to produce the leaves that we see. Now, do you remember? Number 1, what makes food for the plants? That would be the leaves. Number 2, what do we call the green in a leaf? That's chlorophyll. Number 3, why do we see only the color green in leaves? The chlorophyll hides the other colors in the leaves. And number 4, what happens to leaves after they fall from a tree? Well, they decay and return nutrients to the soil. Roots. Have you ever tried to pull a weed out of the ground? Why did you have to tug so hard? The roots hold the plant very tightly in the soil. When a seed begins to grow, it first pushes out a tiny root. This little root looks like a string. See the tiny little string? It might not look very strong, but the tip of the root is very hard. The tip of the root pushes and twists its way through the soil as it grows. As the plant grows taller, the roots reach deeper into the soil. The roots must grow longer to hold the bigger plant in place. The bigger the plant, the more water it needs. As the plant gets bigger, the roots reach farther down into the soil for more water. You can also, on the roots that you're seeing that are branching out, they have little root hairs, and these little root hairs are going to collect the water. Look carefully at the roots. Do you see the little hairs of the roots in the circle? The root hairs drink the water from the soil. How do roots help the soil? Did you know that roots help the soil? God designed the soil to have 2 layers, the top soil and the subsoil. The topsoil is dark and has the most nutrients, which helps plants grow. Sometimes the topsoil can wear away. This is called soil erosion. So here you can see the topsoil, nice and dark. And down here we have the subsoil. Erosion can happen because of water or wind. If the soil becomes loose and dry, it is easy for wind to blow away the topsoil. Heavy rains can also wash the topsoil away. Root systems help keep the important topsoil in place. God designed the roots to help take care of the soil, while the soil is providing nutrients for the roots to give to the plants. Isn't God so wise? Here you can see the roots of this tree have been exposed, all right, because of soil erosion. All the soil's been washed away by rain, and you can see the roots sticking out from this tree. All right, guys, that is the end of week 2. Thank you.